What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about alpha males. Again, I told you guys not to hold me to the promise of ever talking about alpha males again. That's all of the content that's on the internet right now. Internet drama used to be so fresh. We had Logan Paul doing something terrible on one end, Viners doing something terrible on the other.
Come on, guys. Gotta get something bigger than that. We need a dino.
We've been dealing with alpha males for 6 years now. When are we gonna get a beta? That's right, folks. A second red pill has hit the internet. Oh shit! Oh shit! This guy's name is King Azalea, also known as Ben Azalea.
Bang.
Also known as Ben Scamming Azalea. Forget the other part. I just wanted to say he's been scamming. So I'm gonna do some blind reacting to King Azalea's content in the same way gonna blind react to Ben Azalea's content in the same way I reacted to Miss Dami's content.
King, why does everyone hate black people? That's simple, bro. You guys are the tallest, you're the fastest, you're the strongest, and you're the biggest. And you guys have the best voices. You guys took over the sports industry, the music industry, the rap industry. Now you guys are taking over the film industry. It's not that people hate you guys. It's that people are hating on you guys. And you gotta know the difference, brother. You'll never see a hater do better than you.
Damn, King. I never thought about it that way.
Let's go.
So from the side, the obvious glazing he's doing. I don't even know what to say about this. This is a very sensitive topic that he's talking about. I wasn't expecting him to just say a bunch of empty platitudes, a bunch of nothing. I guess my expectations were too high. I don't think there's ever been an alpha male coach to set these expectations this high in the first place. I was expecting something more like, yo, King, why does everyone hate black people? Well, you see, my brother, it has nothing to do with the fact that everyone hates you. The systemic racism in America is really the reason why everyone thinks it's okay to be mean specifically to black Americans. This is where all the culture came from. 400 plus years of hate and torture, and you guys are still standing strong. You guys have done everything. Your life experiences have shaped the world we live in now today. Everything you've done is top-notch historically and is real. Except for that Will Chamberlain game. Yeah, no, that shit wasn't real. Something we can agree on. Yeah. And saying that black people took over the rap industry is like saying that Taco Bell took over the Hispanic industry. You know what I'm saying?
So I called my bank, and when I called them, I asked for $250,000. Now, for me, $250,000 is not much money. As you guys could understand, $250,000 is not much money. When I called the bank and said, hey, I'd like to pick up $250,000 because I need it for my podcast. I want to show a little bit of money. They said to me, well, we're probably going to need for anything over $20,000 to make an order, which will take about 3.5 to 4 weeks.
I don't understand any of this. And it's probably because I am of a lower class. That is the fakest money I have ever seen.
I have money in the bank that doesn't exist. And then I come to find out that only 3 to 5% of the money in the economy is physical money. The rest of it was digital money.
And I told the bank teller, sir, I have you know my net worth is about $2 million. So I am a $2 millionaire. So $1 million is not a lot of money. It's actually half of everything that I own. Sir, well, it may be not a lot of money to you, but it's a lot of money. And we can't get that to you because it's not all physical. We can't bring you physically $1 million. And I said, where the fuck is this skit going? This is what you guys get on the Joshua channel. You don't get cohesive jokes. You get a bunch of stuff that I'm just throwing together.
Retired at 24 years old after selling my patents and decided I was gonna go travel the world. I traveled for 10 years, hanging with some of the most beautiful women in the world, seeing the most beautiful places and eating the best food. I was training Muay Thai, I was taking on the world, but at some point in time, it felt like something was truly missing. God didn't just give me these high achievements and tools for me to keep them to myself. I realized I want to help other men achieve similar things. That's why I joined social media, so I could influence and guide people with the lessons I've learned. We each and every one of us have a higher purpose, and in order for you to step into it, you have to become the best version of yourself.
We love a humble king, guys. He was so successful, he could have just kept it all to himself. He could have at least stayed gone for another 10 years and came back and told us that he went on a journey of epic proportions. He had the girls. He had the Muay Thai. He had the cars. And yet, something was missing. Nobody's paying attention to him.
Bang.
Excuse me, sir. How happy are you?
No.
So then he came onto social media and made people pay attention to him by being the most annoying guy that you could ever see on the internet. And that's saying a lot because we have Matt Rife. That's all I gotta say. There's no way he should be out rifing Matt Rife. Anyone ever called Matt Rife Matt Trifling yet? Is that
Retired at 24 years old after selling my patents in the
selling his patents? So that means he's an inventor. This is foreshadowing, by the way, but I want to see Ben as. I just went on a wild dude chase for no reason.
If you're ugly in today's age, you're in luck. The truth is, back in the day, even if you had a lot of money, but you were ugly, you couldn't do anything with the money except say, I have money. In today's age, you could do anything you want. You can get hair transplants, you can get a nose job, a boob job, butt implants. Matter of fact, I see guys growing their limbs, literally getting taller by the day. You can get big muscles on, you can get a six-pack, liposuction. You can do anything you want. All you have to do is get money, get rich. And the truth is, when you do get rich, you all of a sudden look better anyways. So the truth is, and the real question, are you poor or are you ugly? Because there's no such thing as ugly today. There's just one thing, and it's you're poor.
He's lying on money's behalf. I know money is sitting there like, what'd he say fuck me for? Yes, that's been a thing. Money is a motivator for all. So even back then, you could be ugly, you could be chopped, and still have a bunch of beautiful women because they want the money. But now he's just like making shit up. And the thing about the guys getting the leg implants and getting taller, that's real. But what the hell is he talking about? He's been seeing guys grow their limbs day by day. Ben, what have you seen in life? Also, why does it look like his beard is an extension of his beard? This is just the alpha male I ain't never seen two pretty best friends. It's always one of them gotta be poor.
Why do you love me so much?
Because you're a student. Hey babe,
Ah,
how you're so fit?
because I was an F student. I didn't stop fighting. Hey babe,
What?
you know why we're so rich?
Why?
You know why.
Actually, I know why.
Why?
Because you're a student.
Exactly. They wanted to teach me how to get a good job and work a 9 to 5 and stay broke for the rest of my life. Hey guys, if you're an F student, just remember, you got a bright future, buddy.
Smart.
We finally reached the main meat and potatoes of this guy's whole shtick recently as to why he's taken off the way that he did. So he's been recently going on this scholastic grade tirade. He's been really concerned about you guys' grade, but not in a way that you would think. You know, go to college, you know, or find a trade or something if you're not gonna go to college. He's the exact opposite. He's like, look, if you're an S student, you're gonna be the rich and famous guy, while the A students are gonna be cleaning the dirt off of your boots while you kick them in the face. That's why he and his wife are getting extremely giddy, extremely excited, and they are grateful for the fact that Ben here is an F student. In fact, that is the reason why she got with him, which is an extremely rare standard for a woman to have out of everything else. You could be ugly, you could have all the red flags in the world, and I don't care, because those aren't my red flags. My red flags as Ben Azoulay's woman is that if you don't have an F, you're not getting in these pants. No F, no sex. How do you expect me to give you head when you got all the brain you need up there and you're not getting? There's something about this beginning clip though that's kind of making me a bit suspicious. She seems a lot more annoyed of something. Maybe she knows that he doesn't have all Fs. Maybe she find out that Ben had an F- or maybe a D on his English report. Hey babe. Yes? Why do you love me so much? Because you're an F student. I got another one. Hey babe. Yeah. Why am I so swole? Because you're an F student. Hey babe. Yes. Why am I so rich? Because you're an F student. Thanks babe. Hey babe. Huh? If the square of the definite integral from 0 to 9 of the square root of 81 minus x squared is divided by the reciprocal of 3gm over c squared times over r plus the zeroth derivative of e to the kt evaluated at t equals 0, what's the result? 27. Aha! I knew you were an F student. Time to die!
God sent you here on a mission, whispered in your ear, and he said, hey,
He's checking off every box. He's rich, he's arrogant, he's like the perfect alpha male. All he has to do now is be exposed for a secret sex trafficking scheme. Maybe that's his patent. His patent is the locks on the door so you can't escape when he kidnaps you. I'm on to this guy.
hey, you're gonna go down there and you're gonna do 1, 2, 3 for me, okay? When you arrived here, he cleared your memory. You now have to figure out what it is that he sent you here for. And the reason majority of people are not happy is because they're not following the mission.
It's because they don't know the mission. You just said that God told them what they were supposed to do, but when they came to Earth, he erased it. For all they know is that what they're doing is fine. Yeah.
We call it our dream. And as long as we go against our dreams, we're going against God. You are destined to fail. You are destined to have a life full of unhappiness.
This is such a beautiful concept, and I'm so glad we're speaking about this because I feel there's so many people who are absolutely lost.
And if that's the whole concept we're going by, does that mean that God sent Ben Azalea to Earth and his mission was to become an F student? Is that what happened? Oh man, if I bomb this test, I'll be grounded for a week. I really need to lock in. These questions are so hard. It's like only God can answer these questions.
Be not afraid, my child.
Jesus?
In the flesh, in the spirit. My child, I am here to help you with your standardized testing that they sent you home to do for some reason.
Awesome! Okay, well, let's not waste any time then. Number 1, what's the square root of 64?
7.
Okay, 7. Okay, number 2, if I have 20 apples and I give 6 away, how many would that be?
7.
Oh, cool. The same answer twice in a row. That's like super rare. All right, now we have 2 more questions. What's 5 plus 5? Oh, that one's pretty easy. Don't worry about this one, God. I think I know this one. The answer's
7.
No, I don't think that's right.
Are you really gonna question me right now?
No, God, look, I don't mean any disrespect, but I'm pretty sure 5 plus 5 is
7.
Just doesn't make any sense. How is 5 plus 5 7?
Because on the 7th day, I rested. Duh.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. My fault for questioning you. I know, you're right. If I didn't know any better, it looked like you were trying to get me an F. Okay, last question. What's 6 plus 1?
8.
Ha! I knew it! How are you trying to fail me, Lord?
No one ever be royal.
What the hell? Where did Jesus go?
Let me show you guys really quick something I've not shown anybody just yet. What you see right here is the new crib. This is what I'm building. This is what I've been working on. This is the house in Calabasas. And it's all designed by me. I've not shown it to anybody. So you guys are the first ones to see this. All of you guys. Now, I gotta tell you, I do love the new place. I love the new pad, living at the penthouse. At the W is amazing, you know. You're living at a hotel. The view is great. Everything, the service, the valet, the closet is awesome. You know, let me show you the view. The view is absolutely fantastic. Look at that. It's amazing. But as much as it is amazing, and I got this beautiful 1,000 square feet of balcony, and it's great, you know, but at the same time, I just can't wait to move into my new house. It is what it is. Can't wait to see the new place.
A little relatable. You know, I think it's everyone's dream to live in a house, especially. I know my generation, we want houses so bad, but sadly, that's not the way it is. The housing market will never be the same. I want a house so bad. The idea of being able to just knock a wall down and just leave it there if I want to because it's mine is hilarious. You know, it's just something it's a privilege that someone like me or someone of my class won't get to have for a long time. Is it a good thing that he built this house himself considering what his grades look like? Wow, this house is so beautiful, honey. Thank you so much for building it. It's so nice. Yeah, I know, right? It's incredible what you can do in life as an F student, man. Yeah, I agree. It is amazing. I'm at least glad you took architecture seriously, too. You wish. That was the first thing I failed in.
Girlfriend cheated on you? Yes! Another better one is coming. If not 1, 10. Not 10, 1,000. You crash your car? Yes!
That is probably the most jarring example of a car crash I've ever seen. Obviously, that's what he's saying. If a car is crashing, you show a clip of a car crashing. But did those people get hurt? Are those people okay?
Everything, just say yes. Thank you, God. Another chapter to life. Let me karate chop this shit and move forward. This is the kind of mindset that you need to have. And if you have that mindset, there's nothing that can stop you.
This is a way of coping. It's not something that I would recommend because you can't do it everything. You just got sad? Yes! I don't, because it's under the concept when you lose something, something better comes. He thinks he's Job. Even when Job lost stuff, he wasn't going, yes, I just lost all 8 of my daughters and 8 of my sons and my wives and my livestock. New daughters, sons, and livestock on the way. But that's not always gonna be the case. I think people should just learn how to cope correctly. Oh, you just lost your dog? Yes. That Siberian Husky you've always wanted is on the way. That president that's been ruining your economy, something happened to him? Yes, a better one's on the way. So what you're about to see is the infamous F students video. This is the video that really blew him up.
If you're a young boy and you're in a situation where you're an F student, let me tell you something. You got a bright future, buddy. You see, an A student is the perfect employee. He works for me and he does his job perfectly. A B student, that's my manager. The C students, those are business owners. Then you got the D. D is between a business owner and an inventor. It's someone that owns a business but truly wants to invent something, he just doesn't know how to do it. And then you got the F students. The F students are inventors. They're so fucking creative that they couldn't sit in class because whatever people were trying to put in their head, they knew it was fucking bullshit.
He turned the phrase on his head because the original phrase or concept is C students are the business owners and then the A students are the ones that end up becoming the people that work for the C students. And that's the scale. It's from A to C. There is no D and F students. They're left out because they're failing and everything. And this concept isn't new. This is stuff that was being told when I was going to school as well, but it wasn't the F student stuff, but it was more a coping mechanism to make the students who were failing feel good about themselves. Like if you had straight D's one semester, a teacher would come to you and he's trying to be as helpful as he can. He'd be like, well, you know, Bill Gates dropped out of college when he was younger, so sky's the limit. Well, these guys went to like Harvard. They were still smarter than me. At this point, it's just gaslighting more than helping these students cope or feel better, because it's supposed to motivate you to want to get better grades, but in the way they go about it, it's to stop you from wanting to do good in school because school is worthless, because school has nothing to offer for you when that's not true. And it makes it even worse that he's now adding the D and the F students, because it's like, yeah, I'm being a lot more inclusive, but he's also going to be a lot more manipulative, because I can guarantee you, as much ironic comments inside of these comment section, and as much as people aren't biting, I promise you there are going to be people that bite. They don't understand that this guy is satire. His existence is a joke, and you're supposed to laugh. His existence or what he's portraying, because that sounded fucked up. Yeah, this guy's worthless. This guy's life is meaningless. You should laugh at him now. This is also how we end up with, we live in a society of characters, because someone's gonna follow this, they're gonna do terrible in school and expect something good for them to happen. Then they're gonna be mad at King Azulay, rightfully so, kind of. And then they're probably gonna, like, I don't know, stab him 17 times or punch him 64 times, like R. Kelly, Machine Gun Kelly, wrong Kelly.
Who works the hardest in the United States?
Hispanics.
And who makes the...
Oh, this is another one. So, you know, they gave the blacks their glaze. I don't know why I said it like that.
If any other commentary channel said that the exact way that I said that, they would no longer have a platform. Curtis Connor, Curtis Goner. Patrick Moore, more like Patrick's gonna need more job applications after saying that phrase exactly how I just said it.
The black.
Jake's hot friend, more like Jake's gonna need to find his hot friend a new line of work.
So let me reiterate.
This the shit I be talking about. This is exactly why I script my talking points instead of freestyling. Because I end up sounding like Porky Pig.
Reiterate that. He had his video for black people, the glaze. Now he's doing the Hispanic people glaze.
The least amount of money.
Hispanics.
But who are the happiest people every weekend that you see in the damn parks doing barbecues with their family and having the best time?
Hispanics.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Shut your fucking mouth!
They have something that money can't buy.
I hate this. Oh my goodness. If another rich person says that money can't buy happiness, we have to decapitate you. You have to go. We have to hang you by your eyelids, brother. The worst thing you could do as a wealthy person is to tell a poor person that money can't buy happiness. Because it bought yours.
Let's go find somebody and ask them a very interesting question. Let's see who we got.
Excuse me, sir.
There's more music that I gotta extract from the video so I don't get hit with the meanest copyright strike of my life.
happy are you from 1 to 10? Hey, comme ça. And if
I was a lot happier before you fucking showed up. Could you please get out of my face?
comme ça gave you right now $1 billion, how happy would you be? Very happy. But what if I gave you right now the $1 billion, but I told you that tomorrow you can't wake up? Would you still take it? No. So what you're telling me is that waking up in the morning is worth much more than $1 billion. Isn't that correct? Right. So why aren't you happy? No, I am happy.
He did it again. He just told him that money can't buy happiness. Why? Also, the conversation it's a pretty eerie question to ask a random stranger you just met. Hey man, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you? I'm about a 5. I had a pretty good day today. If I gave you $1 billion right now, would that make you happy? Dude, I would be really happy if I just was given $1 billion. I'd be extremely happy. Yes. I see. Now what if I told you, I'm gonna give you the $1 billion today, but tomorrow, you're gonna die. What does dying have to do with giving me the $1 billion? I would sounds crazy, right? I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be alive. I don't. Anyway, so I got $1 million with me. No, hey man, take it.
Why do they put the craziest people in the world in jail? They don't beat you, they don't hit you, they don't do anything. They put you in jail, separate you from other people. That's what's going to turn you crazy. And it's exactly what happens when you try to become an entrepreneur. You start walking.
Real quick, why does he just lie about everything? The events leading to you going to prison, you're most likely gonna get beat, or if not shot. You know what? I take it all back. This guy is nothing like the Liver King. He went and ate Loki and then became the Lion King.
That line by yourself. Only you and God. Most people don't even believe in what you're doing. You must learn how to be by yourself. If you could also build a team that will go with you, you'll be unstoppable.
The line of what? Criminal activity? Guys, you thought I was joking when I said money can't buy your happiness? Be careful trying to be an entrepreneur, okay? Trust me, you don't want to make money. You will suddenly want to start murdering people. Don't do it. I have $8 billion, by the way. Everything this man spouts is no different than what any of his other peers say. Well, in his case, his pills. But I do want to address the idea or the concept that school is worthless, or the mindset that school is completely and utterly useless. And in no way am I about to play devil's advocate for school. The schooling system? No. The place that doesn't allow you to talk with your friends whenever you want and then take your stars away if they deem you aren't following their rules. Teacher, I'm not a dick rider, okay? I'm gonna talk to my homie about the Ninja Turtles whenever I want to. Huh? Detention? Huh? I don't want detention. Okay, I'll be quiet. The last thing I'm gonna do is play devil's advocate for school, especially considering the fact that, I'm a dropout. Why do you think that's surprising? Nigga, we know! I wasn't anywhere ever close to being a straight F student or even an F student in general. I was more of a coasting C student. Maybe I'll get a D from time to time. Because if I tried and consistently held my A+ like this was elementary school, which I was a straight A student from elementary to like before. We do not care. But if I continue to get A's, that's what every single teacher would expect from you is A+ work. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to play Black Ops 2. And I'm gonna be honest, all right? I didn't grasp a lot of the, learning techniques or these other school concepts as easily as these other kids did when I was growing up. So I always felt like maybe I was just too lazy, or maybe that I was really stupid. Correct! And the older that I got, the more that feeling was hammered down into my very flat skull. My dad dropped me when I was a child. And it was pretty embarrassing for me back then. Still pretty embarrassing now. Don't tell anybody else I told you this. I do plan on going back to school sometime in the future because now I understand what it means to learn and how to pass a test. It's not as daunting as I thought it was back when I thought it was that daunting. Because now I know what I need and what I want from school. Now I can pursue it without the fear or the huge weight of my future requires me to get straight A's or I'm gonna be homeless and have no limbs. I wanted to work for Cartoon Network. We all know how that ended. But I can't just credit all of those things as to why I dropped out of school. I could maybe say that was 99%. I'm not afraid to admit that I was almost one of those kids that not fell is too soft of a word, plummeted down the red pill pipeline until I realized, wait, I hate the pill. So I was able to avoid the misfortune of ever watching a single piece of Aiden Ross's content. But oh boy, when it came to dissing school, I'm surprised I didn't plummet down that rabbit hole any sooner. But my sole contributor wasn't FitX Fearless. I would never listen to a guy who wears too tight shirts. And it was never King Azalea. I would never listen to a guy who doesn't wear shirts. The sole contributor to that mindset that I had in school was Prince EA.
Did you know the average person spends 4 years of his life looking down at his cell phone?
If you don't know who Prince EA is, you might be too young. Because I can promise you, people from the age range of the Civil War to the Nintendo Switch can tell you who Prince EA is. He was this motivational YouTuber that would just say a bunch of nothing.
You are not depressed. Stop saying that. See, if school put learning instead of testing and memorizing as the top standard, then the letter F would not stand for failure. It would stand for find another answer.
I don't know why it just came to me, but why is Prince EA dressed like one of Ness's alternative costumes in Super Smash Bros? Prince EA, more like Prince PK. Fire.
He's also been in his own fair share of controversies, like not citing his sources. Depression isn't real.
You may be experiencing a depression right now, but you are not depressed.
Find another answer.
Or trying to start his own school, which is still up for some reason.
If you could ask God any one thing, what would you ask?
Where's my dick at?
But most importantly, he made a video that made me completely disregard the benefits of taking learning into my own hands. And that video was called I Sued the School System. And I know I'm a grown man, okay? I can't say that another grown man made me do anything. But I was troubled, young, and impressionable. I was the youth, so I'll say he influenced me. I can say this after rewatching the video. I can see why I was so influenced by the things that he said. It's extremely lethargic to watch somebody that seems to be so intelligent come to your defense about something as simple as school. School is one of Satan's greatest soldiers. It's the music, the way he berates some of the negatives about the school system, the way he brings these old guys up on trial that are supposed to represent the school system. If he wanted to give us a more euphoric feeling, he should have had them publicly executed, but hey, that's just me. But then some of the examples he would also give would just make me go, huh?
Here's a modern day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Stay with me. Here's a car from today. And here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today. And here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now, ain't that a shame?
I'm sorry, this is the last time you'll see Editing Joshua. What did he want? What did he want to see change from the school? Did he want the blackboard to be a 90-inch screen TV where we can all watch Subway Surfers while the teacher explains the curriculum we're going to be learning of today? I don't...
And you teach the same thing the same way? That's horrific. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed.
Not murder or theft, but getting pregnant so you don't have to grade tests. You're robbing kids of their F's. So how are they supposed to perform their best? I just jest. I know, I'm being obtuse. Some good points were made. And if the schooling system were a lot more flexible, we probably wouldn't have a lot of these issues that we have now with school. But I don't see that being fixed anytime soon because the dump is defunding them. Controversial take, but I still think that school is a very important and much needed system that we have to keep in place. Media literacy is at an all-time low. Hell, literacy is at an all-time low. I've never ran into somebody who made me feel bad for being stupid though. Wait, well, as a student, a lot of teachers made me feel bad for being stupid. That's why I was watching Prince EA. And as corny as it was, I was still one of its consumers at a specific point in time. I thought that my inability to really concentrate on specific topics that didn't interest me made me lazy. It made me stupid. Correct! All I needed was some perfectly timed internet gaslighting, and you had the peak of dropout Joshua. Yep. That hoodie is 200% polyester. I send all my apologies to the sweatshop workers who had to make that. I'm sorry, I know you guys had school too, but can you blame me? Goku just went Ultra Instinct. So when you're doing bad and the school therapist or the school counselor, I don't think schools can afford therapists. The counselors don't even be counselors, they be janitors. So when the school janitor tells you that Steve Jobs dropped out of college, you gotta tell him that Steve Jobs dropped out of Harvard. And remember that these alpha males also don't have interest in anything but your time and money. So don't fall for their traps. Also, if alpha males are so one of a kind, then how come there are so many? I still don't have a name for you guys, so just imagine that I do. I have to go fail this test so I can buy myself a mansion. I'll see you guys later. Yippee!